Hey, what's going on? Welcome to another video. Before we get started with today's subject, I do want to ask you, and excuse my hair. This is what COVID does to you. No barbershops. Even though some have open, I knew that there would be way too packed, and I'm not the type to be waiting a few hours around. So, guys, I would really appreciate it if you would really subscribe, hit the like. It doesn't take that long, you know. Just hey, subscribe, like, and hey, comment. I would love for y'all to comment because I want to see what y'all are thinking, what your thoughts are on my videos, what your thoughts are on my tanks, on whatever subject it is that I'm talking about. I'd really like to get some input from all of y'all. You know, it's like everyone else says, this is a hobby where we all help each other, and even though I've been doing this for 10 years, maybe more, I started with freshwater though, so altogether it's been about 10 to 12 years. 12 years I want to say. And then reefing, it's been maybe 6-7 years out of those, and I still don't have it right. I mean, there's still things that I'm like, golly, you know, I should have learned by now. One of those things was quarantining, and I mean, I know some of y'all out there have said that, you know, hey, you just, you know, pop it and drop it. It hasn't worked for me. I've tried that before, and then I would end up getting, you know, velvet or ick or whatever the case is, and my fish would end up dying, and I got fed up with that, and now I have my quarantine setups. So let's get started with today's subject. So I've decided here in the office, and let me go ahead and turn the camera around. I've decided that this anemone tank is gonna have to go. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I feel like I have to clean it way more because of the type of filtration that I have. Maybe it's just me, but my experience has been that with sumps, you know, where you have a large enough skimmer, so on and so forth, the cleaning has to be a lot less. But anyway, so this is a 45-gallon aquarium with a Sea-Chem Tidal 75 and a Tunzi skimmer, and of course a Radiant light. Yeah, there you go. My daughter is becoming, you know, who presents the tanks. Show them. There we go. We have a lot of reflection over here. Let's close those blinds. All right. So my wife and I have been trying to get my wife into liking this hobby. That's been a little tough because she honestly doesn't care for it. But I've been trying to get her to get involved in decisions that I make when it comes to the fish and the corals and the tanks and all that. And there's this one tank, and I'm gonna pop in a video, picture of it here. So you can see what tank we're talking about. But it's a peninsula style tank from Planet Aquariums. We found it at Tridal Critters, I want to say the store's called. And we decided that we're going to sell this humongous heavy desk, and we're going to buy 2 personal desks. In the middle here, we decided we're going to put the Peninsula Aquarium, and we'll have her desk at one side and my desk at the other, and that way we have a Peninsula tank right in between us that we can enjoy both sides of. That's gonna be my desk now. Oh, what? Your desk's gonna be right probably over here in the corner or something.
So what type of desk am I gonna have? A plastic one?
I don't know, we'll see. So we decided to get rid of this one just for the simple fact that we want to get a Planet Aquarium. Now the stock in here is not going for sale, so I figured I'm gonna move all these guys. Being that this has the 310 gallon, this tank has been running for over like 7-8 months now, since let's see Thanksgiving. So December, January, February, March, April, May. Wow, actually 6 months. Over here adding months to it, but the parameters have been steady for quite some time now. The only problem, and I might regret this, is that you know, I have life forming all over these rocks, which eventually can turn into some brown algae and, you know, so on and so forth. I'm debating if I really should, but I have no choice because I do want to get rid of the tank, and so far I only have one buyer. So I'm actually going to be making some moves here to put in that structure that I have in there for the anemones. And I want to keep it separate from the other tanks because I don't want them to, you know, move all over the tank. So we'll see how that goes. We'll show you the process of that here in a minute. I'm also going to finally have to hook up the radions to make sure that the anemones have enough light. Not sure if the T5s will be enough. I'm gonna try it with the T5s only and see how they react, and if I see that they're not reacting in a positive way, then I might end up then turning on the radions. All right, so here we are. We're doing about 40% water change. The original salt that was in there has been Instant Ocean, the purple box. And the mix that we've had mixing for quite some time now is the Fritz blue box. So we'll see how that new salt goes. And I'm not ready to put any hard to keep coral yet. I haven't connected all the radions yet, and I will do so at some point. But I'm gonna probably start with some, you know, LPS and those anemones. And I know what y'all are thinking, you know, bubble tip anemones normally want something that that's already stable and has been cycled and so on and so forth. It has been cycled, it is stable. If for whatever reason the anemones don't act right, then I'll be moving them up to the Red Sea that's been running longer than this one, and see what happens. I mean, I want to get rid of that anemone tank in the office, so this is my option, and that's the way I'm gonna go. So here we go. I scoot that one back, I scoot this one more to the left. I disassembled this one and did something else with it. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it that way. Right now it's currently stacked, but it has caves in the middle, which is kind of what I wanted to go for because of the fish that, you know, I know eventually will be coming in here, and I need to make sure that the other fish have places to hide in case, you know, there's fights or whatever. But here is a new fixture. It's what came from the other tank. I can see, man, it looks very green on camera. It is green, but it looks super green on camera. Luckily, I mean, I was debating on just putting one rock in here because luckily the bubble tip anemone had moved from this rock to that rock overnight, but then I was like, you know what, I need a structure here, and there's caves in between there. You can barely see it because of the reflection, sorry about that, guys. But you can see through here where other fish can hide as well, and I just figured it'd give it additional bioload. I've also kept the other tanks, you know, the other fish quarantined prior to adding them to that tank, so I know that all of this was clean when it came to parasites, ick or velvet or whatever else. So that's why I did not have an issue adding everything over. The only problem would be the green algae that you see. I used to have a green hair algae problem in that tank, and I got rid of it all with Vibrant, but we'll see what happens here because I don't use Vibrant on this tank due to having a refugium, but the refugium isn't going well. I guess there's not enough nutrients, or the light that I have is way too much, and there's a lot of like cyano in there, which I'm gonna clean up, and I'm gonna leave the light off for some time and see what happens with that refugium. But eventually my end goal is to have a very good sized refugium to be able to deal with nutrients, you know, especially when I start adding more and more fish here. So here you go, guys. This is the tank now with the Ritterai, or however you pronounce it, anemone, and the rainbow bubble tip anemone, which looks to be sort of getting blasted. I'm hoping that it moves. If it does not move in the next 24 hours, then I might rearrange this rock to where it's not getting blasted the way that it is. We'll see. I would just have to keep a close eye on. The one anemone, the one clownfish that was already hosting it, came back to host it, and is very rude. Does not allow his or her pals to come and join her. And I was hoping they would find that other one, but they just don't seem to want to host anything at this time. I did have a problem unattaching the green carpet anemone that I had, and so it's floating in here, seeing if maybe it will eventually stick to the bag or something. And once I see that it's recovered, then I'll find a corner in my tank. I'm gonna put a rock in the corner of my tank to have this carpet anemone be in. I want to make sure it doesn't move from that corner, so it's gonna be just on a single island rock, and see what happens. This is the problem that I'm talking about in here. You can see a lot of red dusty algae or whatever the hell that is. But there you go, guys. There you have it. I will keep y'all posted on how everything goes. The next video most likely will be about my tank upstairs, or about the quarantine. You can see the reflection right here. This tank here will is actually, today was the last day of medication to Paragard. I do the 3 to 4 weeks of actually this one was 3 weeks, and I'm gonna now leave it without any medication I'm gonna do a water change, put some carbon in there, and have it run without any medication for a week or two, and keep an eye on the fish to make sure that there's no parasites. Here, let me just show you. So it will be the Harlequin tusk, and I'm sure y'all can identify the other ones. I have a hard time pronouncing some of their names. I know that one's a gold flake angel, that one's a dusumeri, that one's a yellow coal tang, and wannabe angel, something like that. They've all been doing really good together. They're all eating well. They have not shown any signs of any parasites on them. So hopefully another week or two of keeping an eye on them without actually medicating the tank will continue being the same, and these fish will be added over to the 310. All right, guys. Again, thank you for watching. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I enjoy keeping this documented. I enjoy having other people watch it. It's kind of a bummer when you don't see anyone subscribe or like your videos or leave any comments, really. It's something that I actually do look forward to, so I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment.
Subscribe.
And then what else?
Click the notification button.
So that you can get notified for every video, right?
Yeah.
And what else?
Give it a big thumbs up.
There we go. Thank you, guys. You heard her. You know, you have to take her advice. Follow us on this journey.